We walked into Milwaukee hearing about a message of unity, and I wonder what you think this message is now.
Yeah. Well, I think when I go out in my district and I hear from those common sense everyday Iowans, I did 2 town halls in my district yesterday. And what I can tell you is people continue to be frustrated with those kitchen table issues. And that's what I'm still focused on. And I think that's what most Americans are focused on. One wise person once told me, focus on the signal, not the noise. And I think that there is a lot of noise out there. But at the end of the day, I'm focused on explaining to Americans how radical Vice President Harris's agenda is, how radical her voting record was, how bad her policy agenda will be for our country. And when Americans are telling me, Iowans are telling me they're frustrated about their utility bills and their inflation that they've seen in the grocery store, I tell them, hey, if you think Bidenomics is bad, wait till you see Harris's version. And so that's what I'm focused on as I'm out in the district.
Well, Congresswoman, as you talk about kitchen table issues, was it a mistake then for your Republican colleagues in the Senate to shoot down the tax deal today that would have expanded the child tax credit, given breaks for businesses as well, that passed by such a wide bipartisan majority in your chamber?
Yeah, well, certainly I hope that the Senate would take it up. I'm disappointed to see it didn't go through, but I do think that we will have a great opportunity to focus on many of these priorities under a Trump administration. I think we have seen the worst business climate in history under the Biden administration. He's made it very, very tough to start new businesses and keep these businesses open. I think that Kamala Harris has laid out in her past votes and the policies that she supports that she wants tax increases. The Democrats on the Appropriations Committee have said we don't have a spending problem, we have a revenue problem. So I think that they have started saying the quiet part out loud. So I'm hopeful that that we'll be able to start over next Congress and hopefully move a good tax package forward that will protect tax cuts that help working families and our small businesses on Main Street.
Well, I know one thing that they have been saying now is that the Trump-era tax cuts of 2017 should not be extended or made permanent, if that's what you're referring to in terms of a tax hike. Congresswoman, if you do want to make them permanent, how do you pay for it? Because the only plan right now is deficit spending that we've heard.
Yeah, well, and we are certainly focused on the Appropriations Committee about making legitimate cuts to government spending. We're trying to abide by the Fiscal Responsibility Act that we passed in Congress, which does have meaningful reductions in the deficit over the next 10 years. And I think that the CPO's report actually showed that. When I look at the priorities, though, President Biden laid out in his budget request earlier this year a budget that did include a lot of tax increases. I think it was about $6 trillion in new tax increases. So that certainly isn't the path forward. I think the best thing we can do is return as many dollars to the people of this country as possible, put our country on a better fiscal path, and then get those dollars coming into the Treasury the right way, which is by encouraging investment in this country, cutting off our adversaries like Communist China, which are taking advantage of our country and taking American jobs. We need to restore the American economy, and that starts by being competitive. It starts by empowering our people.
Well, you mentioned China, Congresswoman, and of course, in addition to your seat on appropriations, you do sit on the China Select Committee in the House. You introduced some legislation before you and your colleagues left for the August recess, specifically looking at the DOJ's enforcement against trade-related crimes. I'm guessing this is something targeted toward China, but what exactly do you hope it will achieve, and do you have confidence it will pass?
Yeah, well, I think this is a great example of solid bipartisan work that does still happen in Congress. You know, there is a lot of division and you don't necessarily see all the good stuff happening on the 5 o'clock news. But I think this is a great example of where we're trying to actually set our country up for success. So the Department of Justice has not had the proper resources to be going after many of these trade crimes perpetrated by our adversaries like the Chinese Communist Party. And they've truly taken advantage and built up their economy on the backs of American workers for decades. They've taken advantage and tried to ship things around our laws to evade those tariffs and taxes. And so we need to do everything we can to hold them accountable. So my bill, which is bipartisan, has the support of members on both sides of the aisle on our committee, would set up a task force or similar structure at DOJ so that they have the tools and resources to go after these people who are evading our laws. We need not only that, but we also need to make sure that there's cooperation across all of government, so state, federal, and local law enforcement, so that they have the resources that they need through trainings and technical support, so that we can properly put together these cases. And then finally, we just need to make sure that this money is being spent correctly, so there are accountability measures in there for reports back to Congress so we know what's being spent. $20 million is what we've allocated so far in this bill. it may not be enough. I think you talk about invigorating our economy, making sure we're holding the bad actors accountable so that our people are not disadvantaged is one way where we can do that and give our people a leg up.
Well, of course, there's no one here to work on this bill right now, Congresswoman. An extended stay at home or in the home district this summer. How come the House left? Where'd everybody go?
Yeah, well, I'm frustrated, but what I chose to do when I came back last week, because I wasn't planning on being home in Iowa, I was out in the district already this week. I did 2 town halls in my district yesterday, and I'm going to be out in the district all weekend. So I don't look at it as an August recess as a vacation. I look at it as a district work period, and I think many of my colleagues share that. So I will continue to work over the next 6 weeks to build consensus around this bill. As I mentioned, if you look at the co-sponsors on this bill, it's the chair of our committee, John Molinar, as well as the ranking member, Raja Krishnamurthy. So when those gentlemen are willing to put their stamp and seal of approval on a bill, I think it's a good signal to people on both sides of the aisle that this is a piece of legislation we should seriously consider taking up.